Hi everybody, this is a video presentation done by Enriquan and Gerard Benavides, and it is going to explain you some issues about the design of the electronic components. First of all, and to introduce the idea, we explain a little bit the statement of the problem. Fundamental materials for the construction of communication electronic equipment are extracted in regions in war, to control these strategic materials. Which is the real problem. How can we design with products extracted without threatening or abusing from people? Conflict resources can be defined as natural resources extracted in a conflict zone and sold to perpetuate the fighting. So, what are conflict components? Global Witness, a non-governmental organization, gives us the following definition. Conflict resources are natural resources whose systematic exploitation and trade in a context of conflict contribute to, benefit from or result in the commission of serious violations of human rights, violations of international humanitarian law or violations amounting to crimes under international law. The most commonly mined conflict minerals are cassiterite, for tin, wolframite, for tungsten, coltan, for tantalum, and gold ore, which are extracted from the eastern Congo. These minerals are essential in the manufacture of a variety of devices such as smartphones, tablets, digital cameras, spacecraft applications or military equipment. Sadly, nowadays, to manufacture these devices, the worlds are allowing the war. The most prominent, contemporary example, of region in war, is located at the eastern provinces of the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Mines in eastern Congo are often located far from populated areas, in remote and dangerous regions, and armed groups earn hundreds of millions of dollars every year by trading conflict minerals. These armed groups are present at more than 50% of mining sites and illegally tax, extort, and coerce civilians to work. As mentioned before, the smuggling and exportation of coltan has helped fuel the war. A crisis that has resulted in approximately 5.4 million deaths since 1998, making it the world's deadliest documented conflict since World War II. As an electronic designer, maybe the most important component to take into account is the tantalum, which is used for a wide range of applications. As mentioned before, one resource rise above the others, the tantalum. Tantalum is used, primarily, for the production of tantalum capacitors, particularly for applications requiring high performance, a small compact format and higher reliability. The market of tantalum electrolytic capacitors in 2008 was approximately $2.2 billion, which was roughly 12% of the total capacitor market. A tantalum electrolytic capacitor, a member of the family of electrolytic capacitors, is a polarized capacitor whose anode electrode is made of tantalum on which a very thin insulating oxide layer is formed, which acts as the dielectric of the capacitor. The high specific capacitance of tantalum capacitors makes them particularly suitable for passing or bypassing low-frequency signals up to some megahertz and storing large amounts of energy to support the power rails of highly integrated circuits. But, do companies really care about making products with conflict-free components? Leading electronics companies are making progress in eliminating conflict minerals from their supply chains. In particular, 4 leading companies, Intel, SanDisk, HP, and Apple, have been pioneers of progress. Now, some examples extracted from the news are exposed in order to show the different actions from leader companies as Intel, HP, Apple or SanDisk. Finally, we are going to introduce what kind of efforts electronic manufacturers are doing by the means of certification. At the end of this chapter we will be able to answer the following questions. How can I know if I'm using conflict-free components? And if I'm a designer and I want to tell to customers that my components come from conflict-free areas, how can I certify it? By May 31, 2014, all publicly traded companies in the U.S. must report the use of conflict minerals to the Securities and Exchange Commission. Companies using conflict minerals must disclose the mine of origin and the smelter used to process the minerals. However, European manufacturers are not required to certify whether the electronic components are conflict-free. Since 2008, Conflict-Free Sourcing Initiative offers companies and their suppliers an independent, third-party audit that determines which smelters and refiners can be validated as conflict-free in line with current global standards. More than 230 companies and associations from 7 different industries participate in the Conflict-Free Sourcing Initiative. The goal of the Conflict-Free Sourcing Initiative is to validate all smelters with responsible sourcing of materials, no use of conflict minerals, and no human rights abuses. In 5 years, Conflict-Free Sourcing Initiative has brought the following encouraging improvements to the Democratic Republic of Congo. 74% of miners report that they are mining without armed groups. In 2010, nearly all miners were under the control of armed groups. 141 mines are validated conflict-free. Minerals that have not been validated as conflict-free are sold at a discount. Communities feel safer than they did 10 years ago. These are impressive results for a 5-year initiative. However, greater efforts are needed, such as improved communication between companies and mining communities, infrastructure development, and more buyers and investors. Rather than starting at the brand level, the European Union will focus on self-certification of direct importers and smelters of tin, tantalum, tungsten and gold because they are closer to the source of the minerals. Smelters are the key choke point in the global supply chain for minerals. The basic concept is that as more smelters get audited in a stringent manner, there will be fewer and fewer places that smugglers can sell conflict minerals. So eventually they will be forced to give up, and the incentives will have shifted to transparent, clean minerals trade. Voluntary reporting will lead European Union consumers to reward trusted producers with their business, as opposed to relying on the government to punish offenders. The European Union proposal focuses on the initial point when minerals first come into Europe, and the smelters that refine them. By doing so, upstream companies, the brands we are familiar with, can more easily choose which responsible smelter they want to work with. But there is still no mandatory regulation in place for companies to do so. For instance, Qualcomm strives to provide Democratic Republic of Congo conflict-free products by supporting industry-wide efforts to drive transparency in the supply chain and by expecting that our suppliers obtain materials from environmentally and socially responsible sources, including conflict-free sources within the Democratic Republic of Congo and adjoining countries. Despite Qualcomm ensures the use of 100% conflict-free tantalum, they are still using some other conflict minerals. However, the trends are going in a positive way and it is expected to reduce the presence of unwanted components in our daily devices. In 2014, Intel announced that its entire line of microprocessors would be free from conflict minerals, making them the first in the rare mineral-heavy industry to completely phase out their use in one of their products. To finish up this presentation, we are going to show you a brief video about the actions Intel is carrying out about conflict-free minerals.
Few people think about what's inside their devices and how they work. There are minerals in every piece of technology you own, so it's important to know where they come from. Some of these minerals can be mined by people enslaved by warlords in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. 5 years ago, there wasn't a better way. So Intel began a relentless pursuit for conflict-free minerals. To do this, we started over by reconnecting the dots across the globe and convincing partners to do the right thing. Technology is supposed to solve problems and make lives everywhere easier. We're proud to say the world's first commercially available conflict-free microprocessors do just that.
We We hope that you have enjoyed our presentation. If you have any question, do not hesitate on contact us. See you in class.